Action. What is up, guys? Fahan here with Zah once again, and today we have two men to bike, from Amokyo to
Saint Abbs.
Saint Abbs. What's that? The Saint Abbs riders, Pefa and
Yes, hi.
Daniel.
Hi.
Okay, so basically a bit of introduction about them. They travel 1,400 and 400 kilometers. 14,400 kilometers from Singapore to Pakistan, traversing through. It's like I took from your Facebook lah.
Yeah.
Traversing through Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, India, and Nepal. 105 days with a budget of 9,200. I have to ask this.
Yes.
9,200, both of you.
Yes.
Together.
Wow. Both of us. Yeah.
So it's very doable.
Yeah, it's very cheap. It's cheaper than living in Singapore. Agree, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Okay, so maybe you guys want to share your previous overlanding experience together before this Saint Abbas trip?
Actually, it's Saint Abbs.
Saint Abbs. Oh, okay,
Saint
sorry. Saint Abbey. There's no Y lah. Why?
No, it's okay, but cool. So yeah, maybe Daniel.
Frankly, we didn't have a prior overlanding experience before. We merely did a pilot run on a previous bike of choice, which was the bulletproof Honda XR400. We gotten our bike, both of us, same XR400, one each, and then we were thinking that before we embark on our trip, we do a pilot run and see how the bike perform, and is there anything that we can better it. So it was a short trip to Dizaru. It was a day trip to Dizaru, and tons and tons of problems starts to surface. The bike was nice. The bike is very nice, but the vibration. When you want to do a long run, your batok, your pantat, my pantat cannot take it. Okay? It's not that meaty. Even his with a meaty one, he couldn't take it either. So we scrapped the idea, and then we came back to Singapore. We sold off the bike. Sold off the bike immediately. And we were looking into another bike for the trip. And then after some discussion, we came to a conclusion that we'll be using the BMW F800, a middleweight adventure bike. It fits the bill, everything. So to answer you, we didn't have...
So seriously, before this you had never go like Thailand or what?
No, actually...
Also, never.
Okay, so before we did the SR400 to Dizaru, that was the pilot run. Of course, we ever did Romping, Endau Romping.
That isn't a...
Yeah, that was really a road trip.
That's not exactly a road trip.
Yeah, that was just
we were on our dirt bike to do the trails there. That's the furthest we went on the bike.
Yes, you're right.
Not even KL.
No.
Straight away, first overland to Saint Abbs.
Plan to.
Plan to, but we didn't complete, right?
Plan to go to Botan, but we didn't complete.
But of course, that comes with a price. On the very actual day, me and Daniel, right, we have ambition to reach Cameron Highland. Is it? Day one. To reach Cameron Highland like within 8 hours. But it didn't happen.
But there was a hiccup. We were supposed to leave the country at 4 a.m.
Oh, that was funny.
But it was raining. Raining.
It was so fucked, because I set the alarm at 4 a.m. So I woke up, I messaged Daniel, it's raining. He said, okay, I think we, continue to 5 a.m.
We just sleep in a while more.
So that's why you guys left in the afternoon?
10?
Like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. It was still drizzling. We had breakfast in the Amokyo market first.
Correct. So no, because after 5, 6, and 7 a.m., the rain actually did stop. So he decided, okay, let's move out already. Then, I was packing my bike. He came over and sorry, can we use that?
No worries, I will censor.
And it rained again. Right?
Oh, man.
And we said that, shit man, let's go have our breakfast. So, went over to the opposite market.
Wow, okay, imagine you guys are, hey, come on, let's go.
Exactly. I'm very excited. Very excited. I'm serious. So we have breakfast, we're like talking to each other, we're saying that, do you think we should like postpone to tomorrow? Then he said that, no, just do it today, man. Just do it, okay.
Okay.
So we leave around like 1.
We left the country at about 1.
I think we jumped a few already. So basically,
I'm sorry.
Because we have
too eager.
It's okay, just like the rain itself. Okay, so actually, what sparked you guys, to do that trip? Is it originally to Scotland?
Initially, what was the plan? In the beginning one.
In the beginning.
I think it's better for him to say this.
Actually, the plan was to go
initial
to Europe or UK, I forgot. And me as like Peifa, like I always like to plan out the itinerary exactly every day. What should we do? And actually we did have a discussion, and actually Daniel enlightened me. After that, we have a talk. He was saying that the best plan is to have no plan. So yeah. So I mean, of course, he was saying that as long we know which country we're going to go through, and that's it. But how we're going to go through it, how we're going to ride through the country, let's don't plan it. Yeah. But honestly, I did still plan, when I tried to go through Malaysia and Thailand. And Thailand.
You're not answering the question.
What?
The question is how did this came about, right? You're not even answering the question. How did this ride come about?
Then why? Because he was saying about planning.
Yeah. When did it happen? Why this ride took place?
What's the whose bright idea was it? Hey, somehow we go to Scotland.
Oh! I tell you what, okay.
Actually, I said it's better for you to answer this.
No, actually, I don't know if you still remember. There was this incident when we actually were riding off-road bike. Then me and him were actually at the back of one of our mechanic van, and he told me that he probably want to resign next year and do a backpacking trip with his girlfriend. No, just a backpacking trip maybe, I forgot, okay? And after that, I told him that, why don't we do a road trip? Then he say like, okay. After that, we put a full stop, and we didn't talk much. I think months later or years later, or maybe months, I forgot. Then he suddenly felt that, I think my resignation is gonna realize lah, and I think let's do a road trip. Is it something like that? No, I forgot.
It was supposed to take place in 2018. But his wife was pregnant with their second baby.
But how did we confirm that we are going for a road trip? Because
is this that I want to resign.
And you say you want to do a backpack, right?
Yeah. Then you say go for a road trip.
But you didn't say on ma. You were saying that maybe okay.
Yeah.
Then after that, when did we on it? I forgot already also.
I don't know. It just took place very naturally.
Okay, never mind. It's okay.
I suddenly forgot about this thing. No, because prior to this trip, right, there's a lot of hiccups. It's supposed to, like what he said, it's supposed to take place in 2018. It didn't happen because my wife is pregnant, and that.
My dad had a stroke, so we had to put it back.
Oh yeah, his dad had a stroke first. So we said
we thought it's going to be cut off.
Yeah, and we said that no, it's okay. I'm cool with it. Anytime, next time we can actually fly in and ride. Don't need to do this thing. He's like damn sian. After he said it's okay already, then he decided, maybe it's time to go. Then my turn. My wife is pregnant. I called him unfaithful afternoon for lunch. He was shocked. Then we talked about it. So I asked him, do you want me to do it now? Before my wife get pregnant, or do it after my wife get pregnant?
What do you mean by your wife get after your wife? Your wife
sorry, gave birth. Sorry.
I love these interviews.
No, gave birth. Yeah, my mind is not. We are quite a bit tired. Sorry.
No,
sorry.
It's okay.
So in essence, to answer you, so it started out with a backpacking trip of mine. So I was talking about it to him, and then ding dong, it evolved into a road
You
trip.
jump on the idea lah.
Yeah.
Okay, Peifa jump on Daniel's idea.
He developed the idea. He was the one that developed
He same with us also. Zah is the one that wanted to go there. I just hop on his idea.
It's always the case.
Partner in crime. Yeah, you need a partner in crime, honestly. Sometimes. Cool.
So two men meet two men.
Oh, nice.
Alright. So, what's the actual budget for the trip, and how did it come to an amount of 9,002?
The planned budget was 10,000 Sing dollar each.
Yes.
For 6 months.
Yes.
Which includes everything, like your food, your accoms, your fuel, your everything.
Yeah.
Your sightseeing, everything.
Yes.
So we planned it at 10,000.
Yep.
So 9,520 was the actual amount of money we spent until the day we got back to Singapore.
Yeah, that's until
So,
Pakistan.
keep track of your expenses actually.
Everything.
Yes. We have an Excel file.
We thought that it would be a very good data for future overlanders, as a reference.
Yes. We try our best. So, I mean, we would like to share it with any of your subscribers or you guys who wanted to go for the road trip. I'm open with that.
Of course.
Data.
Our next road trip.
Yeah.
Pakistan,
Yeah.
Turkey.
Can let's do it lah.
Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey will be fantastic.
So you guys mentioned that you guys selected the F800 GS.
Correct.
So why the F800 GS, not the GS1200 or the Africa Twin?
I think you should answer because you're the one that actually gave this F800.
Okay, so I'm small, right? I'm a small guy, and I did a fair bit of reading, a fair bit of watching videos on YouTube. Came to a conclusion that a middleweight adventure bike was actually the more balanced for some light off-road and long trips. Yes, it doesn't have the power. It's a parallel twin. It's a beautiful bike, very smooth. My bike didn't have much issue. This bike suffered a lot. So we were contemplating like F800s. The 1200s were never in mind for myself because it was way too heavy in my opinion, and I think it will be quite a big cow to push around. Okay, so the middleweight was something that we looked into. We were shopping around and looking at bikes. Somehow or rather, I can't remember exactly why F800 came into the picture, but it was a good call.
But you guys are quite tall for the 1200 actually, yeah. If you were to go for 1200, you guys I think can take that bike.
Yes.
I think we, in terms of height-wise, seat-wise, I think we should be able to manage. But I think the weight is
The weight
the
is
issue.
heavy.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Are we allowed to
just continue.
say anything?
Yeah.
Okay, 1200 boxer engine, shaft-driven, and not everybody knows the know-how of how to repair it when anything happens overseas. So a parallel twin, a chain is no-brainer. Like basically a lot of bike uses a parallel twin and chain. So in a case, we thought that contingency, in a case, if the bike breaks down, we might not have the part. We can get the part over, shipped in, but we also need the expertise to get it fixed onto the bike, you know, to replace it. So I think to go for something that is easy for other people in other country, to other mechanics to help us with, I think that's a call.
Something to consider.
Mental
Some people say don't care about what bike you're riding.
It is always rider over ride, but then if the bike breaks down, there's nothing you can do. No matter how good a rider you are.
Note to self.
Note to
self. Reliable bike.
Are you what bike do you guys use?
Parallel to
I see some 50 and he.
I'm Honda Tourism
Honda
CB190.
Nice. Doesn't matter what bike you use.
Yeah.
So long, it's reliable, easy to repair.
Actually, to me, the best tip is to use the same bike because
you know the bike better lah.
Yeah, true.
yeah. So because you only just need to bring one set of spares.
So any doubts or worries before the trip itself, you know?
Wow. Actually, yes, there is one very interesting doubt. I think me and Daniel, we discussed that after we got our Iran visa, we were talking about death and what is the necessary preparation we need to actually, handle, how it to be handled lah. Like, is it, bury it, cremate and bring the ash back and that kind of stuff. And of course, there's also a very interesting incident we talk about. If let's say one of us got kidnapped, don't play a hero and go and save the other one, that kind of stuff. Because like I say back then, we know that we'll be traveling through some area. There's this very notorious area. I won't say notorious, sorry.
Notorious.
Notorious.
Yeah, notorious. Don't censor that. I mean, censor that because we didn't went there. Anyway, because we did read about is at the end of the Pakistan. I don't know what's that.
The southwestern,
correct.
Southwestern part of Pakistan.
Before you enter Iran.
Right before you enter Iran.
Yeah, they will need escort to go to that place, and they say that is probably one of the dangerous place lah. But of course, like I say, a lot of overlander went there. Nothing happens. We didn't experience it, so we cannot say that. So
Well, you guys really did your research before you go.
Actually, no. It was on the go.
Exactly.
When you're on the road, you meet other people on the road. So we Asian, we travel towards Europe.
Yep.
And the Europeans, they travel towards Asia.
Yes.
So along the road, when we meet, we talk.
Yeah. So we know about the escort. They say
It's about exchanging info along the way.
Then they say there's bombing, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
How was your family reaction or their approval? Like, when you say that you want to go for this trip?
I say up till time in the previous interview, I have the best wife in the world. Yeah, I'm serious. Because like I say back then, I'm a father of two, and my wife honestly it's very encouraging, because the only the only statement she gave to me is that she don't want me to regret or blame her, like saying that I don't want you to blame me that you didn't make this trip because of me, something like that. So she just tell me, just go and do whatever you want. Honestly, best wife ever.
Daniel?
Self to not, note to self. Find a wife that can.
Yes.
You're married.
Oh yeah,
No, then it should be
second wife. Second wife.
Your first wife still wouldn't approve.
it should be a note to wife.
Not to wife. Please allow me to go traveling.
Don't forget your mother also.
Oh yeah.
Then Daniel, what about you?
Myself, actually, I would say that I'm actually very carefree. I'm single. I've done backpack back then. I've been running around the world. So my parents are pretty used to it. So it was only like 3-4 weeks before, and I broke the news to them, and they were worried for sure. But they gave their blessing and said, just be careful because you're on the road. Yeah.
Daniel's like me.
Yes. Also, you're single.
No, I recently got married lah. By the time when we went on our trip,
Congrats.
I'm not married yet. Still single, carefree.
When we were on our trip, I married. He's single.
I remember he
Same,
he got trouble getting approval from his
OC.
His wife is okay.
From my mom.
Mom is not it's an issue lah. So really convince her, But salute lah. Thanks lah.
I wonder how my mom would react if I were to say, hey, I'm going to Turkey.
Just show her this video lah.
3 weeks before you depart. That's going to be a bomber.
So definitely as an overlander, paperwork and homework is necessary. What was the initial preparations like? Oh, you're laughing. I mean, it's a hell of a research.
Did we really research? I don't remember. Like I say, we know that we need to get Canon, we know to get certain visa for the country, and that's it actually. And actually prior to the road trip, it just took us like just 1 month, and we settled everything.
I settled everything.
Yeah, Daniel settled everything.
Because I was freed up 1 month before the trip. He was freed up the weekend before the trip. Because he's on sabbatical, I left the job, so I was the one doing the thing. But we have to go and so basically we only did Canet, we only did the visas. That's about it.
Yes. So honestly, we did not prepare a lot. Of course, if you want to talk about that again, you guys can fast forward to just now what I was talking about. I want to plan everything, schedule every single bloody itinerary, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Other than that, honestly, the real work just 1 month before the trip. That's it.
I see.
As much as you can plan, when you're on the road, the changes, the elements are impossible. There's no way you can identify or predict correct per se what's going to happen next. So basically, like you mentioned earlier, you just know your general direction, which country you're going to get into, and make sure you get out of that country within 30 days, you're fine. Within your visas period, you're fine.
What were the choices of accommodation in the countries that you guys generally go to? Do you like pitch a tent, or you just seek out for hotels?
So given our budget of $10,000 Sing,
hotel,
right, for the 6 months trip planned, we first tried staying in hostels, shared bunks.
Oh my god, it's a disaster.
I agree.
I actually love it. I actually love staying in a hostel, meeting people, talking to people and talk up. In Cameroon, day 2, we were staying in a hostel, and Pefa didn't really like the experience, so he didn't have any prior experience before Cameroon. So we stayed for like 2 nights. And then he made a call.
You mean Cameron?
Cameroon. Cameroon.
Cameron is like in Africa.
Oh, Cameroon.
It's okay.
He made a call and said, no, I'm not going to stay in the hostel anymore.
Noisy or...
No, I don't know. I just couldn't sleep well.
I felt uncomfortable. Like you're on bunk beds and your personal belongings are exposed. Whatever.
I don't know. I just
So
feel
one room, how many people at that time? Just curious.
The one that we stayed in was what? 4 or 6. 4 or 6.
So there's other people.
Yes.
Because I had my principle was very clear. I have to beat to the budget. Because frankly, and really that in Asia we have to save more in order to not suffer in Europe. Because Europe is going to be very expensive.
Correct. So we did talk about, if let's say in Europe we need to stay in hostel, we have to do it because of the budget, and we have to do it, no choice. But in Asia we did manage to actually keep the budget within like $50.
Yeah, a day.
A day.
We work on a daily budget.
Correct, on our accommodation. So we actually made it. But of course some of it actually exceed, but we still try to, sometimes we pay 30, some will pay 40, then what we save, we're going to bring it, forward, then it's fine.
Just curious, what's the budget like per day you guys budget?
Do you have allocated, okay, for one day, each day we are going to spend this amount?
Correct.
This amount for fuel, this amount for food, this amount for accommodation. Do you do?
Only a comms we did that, but actually fuel we did not actually budget that. Fuel we just write and...
Because fuel is something that you must pay, no matter what. You must pay.
You have no choice lah.
And accoms, maybe you can be more... have more control over it,
yes,
probably.
Yes.
Just coming to your point, accoms, we have one advice. So whenever we look for accoms, look for those with private parking. As much as possible. After Cameroon, we were looking for Cameron. We were looking for Airbnbs. We were looking for apartments. We were looking for whatever with private parking.
Yeah.
Because we had a very scary experience in Malaysia. Night one, KL.
Yeah, first night. Like I say, we didn't make it to Cameroon. Too ambitious. Like we say that let's camp at KL before we go out to Cameroon. Cameroon. So on the first night, we just find a very cheap accom. I think that was like $20 or $30 Airbnb.
Ringgit, 20 ringgit. Yeah, just a room with 2 beds.
Yeah, but there is no private parking. So we were told to just park in the public space. And that night, it was very interesting. While we are waiting for our accom, because we came late and it was a last minute booking, and one of our hotel staff came, and he's just riding a kap kia, those kap kia Malaysia, kap chai. And bloody hell, you know what he did next? When he alighted the bike, parked the bike, he bloody bring a damn big lock, right, to lock the bike. Lock his kap chai. A very big lock. And we asked him, hey, why do you need such a big lock? He said the bike here always got stolen. I'm not kidding. Remember that? It was like, oh fuck, man. After that, we just, use the chain to chain our bloody F800, and we use our bike cover and put it on. And honestly, that was the first time and the last time we used the cover. I think. Honestly,
moving forward, we choose everything with private parking.
Yes.
So, what are the problems encountered so far throughout your whole trip?
Wow, so many problems, man. 1 to 100,
Okay, maybe the most memorable one. Not you break the leg. You break the leg, that one later.
Okay.
No, the most memorable one will be actually started in Myanmar.
Oh, Myanmar.
Yeah, because it linked to India. This is one of the big major problems. In Myanmar, actually, my bike actually have some issue. I couldn't ride it, or I would say that the pump start to have issue. Then after that, the battery start to have issue. But back then we didn't know it's a battery issue. So in Myanmar, it broke down, and we are unable to cross on that actual day. It was postponed because we need to actually hire a tri-bike.
Oh, a tri-bike.
A tri-bike, right? Yeah, a tri-bike to tow my bike to the India border. Yeah, that was one of the crazy ones. That was one of hell experience, seriously. And of course, a tri-bike unable to travel fast, so we got delayed our crossing. It was actually being delayed for 1 day. The next day, we are able to cross it. But after that, right, when we reach India border, right, we intend to actually call a tow truck or so, but there's no tow truck at the border. There was only what we call it the taxi van. They call it a taxi van, I assume. Yeah. No, it's not just a tuk-tuk.
It's a mini van.
Suzuki
very small.
Yes. Yeah. Very small. And if you guys follow me, then you guys will actually check out how we managed to squeeze that F800 behind the back of the van.
I saw actually.
Yes, and we managed to squeeze it in after we dismantled the windscreen and some of the stuff. And when we sit in, right, the van actually took us to one of the border in Infa. So in Infa, right, it was so bloody lucky. Cut the story short, we found a hotel that actually have a battery charger at the facility. The printer shop. We were shocked. A printer.
They are basically a photocopier machine service
shop. Yeah, but with
and then they have a battery charger.
Exactly. So, back then, we call mechanic, that kind of, they'll say that let's troubleshoot one by one. So we said that let's put the battery to charge. And then, voila, it happens. The battery just out, and we thought that it's fine already. And we just went on to continue our trip from India all the way to Nepal. And shit, man, in Nepal, we realized that it's not just the battery, and when we understand actually is the starter motor that is causing a problem that didn't get the battery to be charged. And in the end, when we reached India, by interchanging the battery,
Not the starter motor.
Yeah.
The stator coil.
oh, that's the stator coil. Oh, sorry, the stator coil. I misunderstand. So we get back to India, right, from Nepal by interchanging our battery. Yeah, every now and then. Where actually Daniel been towing my bike. He used a tow rope actually to so-called pull start my bike. No, I use a tow rope to actually pull start his bike, and his bike become my battery charger. You guys get it? It's a bit technical. It's just that his stator coil is working, so he is my battery charger. So every time my battery will last probably around 2 hours or certain kilometer, right? And when it's like blinking, there's some issue, I will intercom, Daniel, the battery is out, Then he was like, okay. He slowed down, I catch up with him. We interchange the working battery, and the battery that's uncharged, right? We actually pass it and install in his bike, and I pull start him, and he start to charge that battery, and I will use the charge battery, and we did that like in I think Lucknow.
Shakes, yeah.
Yeah, check. I'm telling you, if there's a like a F1 service team, changing the battery will be the fastest, man. Because we have been changing the battery like shit, like at least over 10 over times. And that's how we managed to actually get back to, is it Delhi? Because we wanted to reach Delhi so that we can actually push my bike to actually a BMW Motorrad. Yeah, to actually get it fixed.
So you managed to reach to BMW Motorrad and then they get it fixed?
No, they didn't get it fixed. Immediately, they didn't get it. Because when we get there, the surprising thing is that they did not actually bring in the F800 to Delhi back then. So there's no service part for that bloody machine. But we are so lucky because they used to have a parent importer that actually bring in the F800, and it was in Mumbai. So, they use some connection. Our friend in India, Sharik, right? Yeah, if you are seeing this video, thank you so much. He has good connection. Yeah, he has good connection. He housed us in Delhi. We've been staying for free.
Wow.
Yeah, he's very good fellows, and he used his bike connection, get the manager to actually call up, the Mumbai parent importer, and so lucky they have that bloody gasket.
Gasket. We brought the stator coil.
Yes.
And we didn't have the gasket, so he called to Mumbai Motorrad, and then
they
flew the gasket over.
within 3 days. And we got it fixed. Honestly, it was one of the
blessing,
magical moment.
I tell you, in India, it's incredible. That's why they call it Incredible India. And like I said, the second thing is Jugaad. They are one of the best mechanics in the world. They can really, like I say, I broke my clutch lever. Is that gear lever?
Gear lever.
Yeah, gear lever, and they managed to actually find a replacement for other bike, and actually cut out
retrofix on it.
Yeah, retrofit and cut out the back part and make it like a clutch. And this is one of the best clutch ever. Trust me, for whole trip until in Singapore, it's still the best clutch. No, I'm serious. Why you're laughing? Because I have one thing to prove it. When I sold the bike to this owner, the owner test bike with the the Jugaad clutch. Okay, after that I changed it to original for him. And he told me that, hey, can you call the mechanic to change back the Jugaad clutch? Because he said the clutch is so much comfortable. Yes, I agree, it's really much comfortable. But anyway, back to the story, and like I said, we got everything fixed, and that was one of the worst incidents beside
the accident.
Yes.
Okay, we'll come to that.
That's his aspect. Pardon me, allow me 1 minute. I'll share my aspect of the biggest problem.
No problem.
What Peifa mentioned was all the mechanical stuff, right? So mechanical stuff, you can get yourself ready as much as possible in Singapore in order to avoid disappointment when you're out there. My biggest problem was him.
Why?
He was mentioning, I need to plan this, I need to plan that, I need to plan this, I need to plan that. So throughout our whole Thailand, we were all in a very fixed schedule, which I didn't enjoy at all. So he had a very tight timeline to meet. Today we have to be here, tomorrow we have to be there, at this hour we have to have dinner, at this hour we have to have lunch, at this hour we have to sleep. Something like this. So as much as a very thing to point out is that if you are traveling in pairs or traveling in groups, it is actually very, very important to communicate because everybody has a different agenda, right?
Correct.
Yes, our common goal is to reach this place, but in order from here to reach Ang Mo Kio, I can take CTE, I can take Kaki Bukit, I can take any road. All road leads to Rome, right? So everybody has got different agenda on the approach. So it's best to communicate. So after that, we had a talk in Thailand, and everything sorted out. The plan is no plan.
Oh, no light. Okay. So how about feeling of homesickness or giving up? Given that you counted a few problems along the way.
Shit, man. If you're talking about giving up, yes, it happens in India during our trip to Spiti Valley, and that is actually where I almost wanted to give up. But of course we didn't. But
Why did you want to give up? That's why they're interested.
Because my bike was keep having the problem because I couldn't climb. Back then I have this fuel pump problem already in Spiti Valley. That this day trip that we need to actually reach Kaza, one of the hilltop village. It was ascending to 4,000 plus meter, and the bike just couldn't clear that ascent. And we'll keep having the bike, keep stopping because of the fuel pump. And when we call for help, they say that it might be all those stuff. So we have no choice. And when we descend, right, the bike was fine. So we thought that maybe it's really a fuel pump. But luckily, when we actually went down to Shimla to fix our bike, the mechanic honestly is another jugat. Honestly, they are really good, man. And of course, the owner was also an adventure rider, and he also got a BMW and KTM, that kind of stuff. I'm sorry if I forgot his name. Maybe I'll just give you guys a name. Do you still remember his name?
I can't remember.
You also can't remember. Yeah. But anyway, he's a nice guy. The mechanic is even very experienced. He took out the whole fuel pump assembly, and actually he dismantled just the fuel pump. And the fuel pump is actually very interesting. He went to all over the shop within a day. I think 2 to 3 hours. He managed to find the spare part. He actually fixed that fuel pump for us, and voila. And that's it. We make our second trip up to Kaza, and we complete the Spiti Valley in a very wonderful experience. Honestly, best place to go, Spiti, more than Ladakh. If you guys know about that.
So you guys want to let me go India?
Are you serious? If you guys skip India, you will be very unfortunate.
India is along the way, to Turkey.
Yes, it's
For me, I want to go Pakistan.
It's along the way.
India then to Pakistan.
You still have to go through India.
But of course, you can just cut through India and without going to the north.
But since you're there,
Yes, please. North is one of the best experience you could have in India. Trust me. Really, you'll be shocked. It is as beautiful or more beautiful than Europe.
Wow.
Yes, best. But anyway,
I think if you watch the movie Three Idiots, you see.
it's filmed in Ladakh. 3 Idiots is filmed in Ladakh.
correct. Best placement. But like I say, that was one of the time when there's so much problem with my bike. I wanted really to give up. Back then, before that, there's a lot of incident. We were saying that maybe money can solve. We can do this kind of stuff. We can ship in. But back then, when I was in doing the ascent, Daniel did I remember he did a post about it. It's really very disheartening. But anyway, we cleared.
At least we went through
When there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. Cool.
At least we went through it now. Okay, so this next question is for Daniel.
Alright.
I understand you got injured.
Yes.
And I know this question has been repeated in the Mothership interview, but maybe for the guys who never watch, how did it actually happen?
For a lot of countries, motorbikes aren't allowed on their highway.
Correct.
Alright? So we had no choice but to take the B road in order to reach where we want to go. So in Pakistan, what was that place called? The middle part, the one that we stayed. We were traveling to
What? There's not
Karachi. No, Karachi is about
Lahore, and as well
Lahore.
Islamabad.
So, we had some problem in Pakistan with visa. So we were running up and down in between Islamabad and Lahore, to and fro. So in their country, motorbikes are not allowed to travel on a highway. So we had to take the B road. So in Pakistan, okay, the B road is only a one way up and one way down. Okay, one lane each. And then there are a lot of stone barriers in order to not let the villagers, crisscross and have a lot of unnecessary traffic. So on the 5th day, I remember I was always a lead bike because I was a navigator. Okay, so he was probably 60-70 meters behind me, if I never remember wrongly. And then we were traveling straight, day as usual. Suddenly we entered the village, and I saw that the traffic has built up. Alright, because there was within the village, there's always openings for them to do U-turn to go whichever direction. Okay, so traffic built up. I think I slowed down to about 30 odd kilometers per hour, 40 kilometers per hour, thereabout. And I was trying to. People are queuing up at the lobang to U-turn, so I was going straight. So when I was going straight, one of the local bike, a young man who has an old man as a pillion, simply just didn't check the oncoming traffic.
Oh man.
Yeah, because they were all on small bikes. Okay, so they were all on small bikes. So I was going straight, and the fella just came out. By the time I see him, I think I had about 4 seconds of time to react. I jammed my brake, my tire jammed, everything, and I banged into him on a stationary. It's more like a stationary kind of bang. Okay, so it's basically like this. I banged him. Okay, so he had a stationary fall. I had a stationary fall, and my pannier pinned onto my left ankle. So the first thing I did was to look back to check if there's any oncoming traffic. Luckily there wasn't, and Peifa came like about 10 seconds later, and he saw me lying on the road already. He didn't see me getting involved in the accident. So I was lying on the road. I didn't know I broke the ankle. I thought it was just a twist or whatsoever. So yeah, then we were at that place. The villagers frankly were very nice. They were very warm, and everybody offered help. All of them rushed to me, brought my bike up, brought me to the side of the road, gave me water, gave me milk, gave me everything. They are so hospitable, and they were very worried. I guess because they don't see that kind of bike that much in that area of the world. Moreover, it's a foreign plate, and we are different color, so maybe they are not used to us, so they were very afraid. So when I got my conscious back, I was checking out for the old man, but God knows they already fled. They already left the scene. I was trying to check out if he was hurt, but I was asking him, how about the old man? Is the old man okay or not? So yeah,
he just left lah.
I think they were very afraid. Probably they rode without a license or insurance or whatever. For whatever reason, they left the place, and yeah, I was being put aside at the roadside to recover. But God knows it took us about 3-4 hours for me to be able to ride again. Yeah, so
with a broken bone.
Yeah, with a broken bone. So I was icing it. At first, and then I thought, okay, it felt better because probably it was numb. Then I tried to ride off. I said, okay, I told Peifa, okay, I think I'm okay. Let's try to make it to the city.
120 kilometers
140.
away. Oh,
140. So I mount onto my bike. Right leg on my rear brake, and when I wanted to ride off, I lost balance for a moment because there was a rock or there was a pothole or something. I lost balance, so I put my left leg down. When I put my left leg down, then I realized that I couldn't exert strength at all because it was so freaking painful, and I fell again. And
he did suspect that it was that second fall that actually cracked the bone.
It could be. I don't know.
We're not too sure because.
So then we spent another an hour, 2 hours. Locals were very nice. Brought us tea, brought us beverage. We were at this tire shop. Remember? Tire shop. The man was so nice. He was comforting me, ensuring I was okay. So that was when I took out my boots, and it was bruised all over the ankle.
And it was damn sore.
It was bruised all over the ankle. So they found us some bandage. So I have to tie it very, very, very tight I have to bandage my ankle very, very tight.
Yeah.
I put back all my boots and I told him, okay, let's go. That was about probably from the time of accident till we finally left. I think that was about 3-4 hours later. So when we change gear, we have to flick our ankle, right? So I couldn't do this action on my left ankle. I couldn't change gear. So all I did was to hook up. I used the rear of my boots to hook to change gear, and was literally riding on one leg all the way. For the next 140 kilometers to...
Yeah, and the last 10 kilometer or 20 kilometers is the jam-packed traffic in Lahore, really honestly.
Changing gears lah.
Yeah.
It
was very difficult. It was very, very difficult, frankly. But you got no choice because you're in the middle of nowhere. You have to make it out.
Yeah. We did have a lot of suggestions, like, put him to the hospital nearby, tow the bike later, kind of stuff. But he insists that he want to get a bike to a big city so that he can park it and be safe about it. So yeah, we make that decision, and he rode it, with a broken ankle, and it was crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hope I give you a little bit of in-depth to answer your question.
Very in-depth. Very better than the Mothership interview. So at which point was like you know that you cannot continue this journey?
Okay, good question. So on that particular day, we reached our accoms at about 5 p.m. I think, if I don't remember wrongly. 5 p.m. We checked in and dumped everything, and I told him I need to get to a hospital immediately. So we went to the hospital. The first thing they did, it was a private hospital.
Yep.
I can't remember the name. I still have the X-ray. The first thing they did, they were very nice. The first thing they did was to bring me to an X-ray, and X-ray taken. We waited for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I received the X-ray on a wheelchair coming down. Then I look at the X-ray. I said, nothing happened. Should be probably just a twist. 1 week or 2 weeks of rest should do the job. So I told him, on my way down, I said, okay, luckily no broken bones. So the orthopedic came, the surgeon came, and he looked at the X-ray and said, oh, hi Mr. Tan, you suffered a fracture, broken bone on the inside and the outside of your ankle. Both sides. So for the outside, you can choose not to do anything about it. It can heal on its own. But for the inside, you must have surgery because there's a ligament involved, blah 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 blah, all the technical stuff. So that was then that I knew it's gonna be a. Frankly, then I thought it was a full stop for my trip. I'm gonna cut my trip there and then. And then I realized it was not a full stop, it was just a comma. So once the orthopedic broke the news to me, I was alone inside the room, and I told the orthopedic that I need a moment with my partner, and I called for PayFar to come in. So we had a talk. I told him, no way I'm going to have the surgery here, because the orthopedic actually suggested me to have the surgery that particular night. So I was thinking, I asked, how long would the recovery be? He said it will be probably from 6 weeks to 8 weeks. If it's only anything before 4 weeks, I might still consider to, spend the 4 weeks there and extend slightly. But if it's going to be 6 weeks to 8 weeks, I said, no, I'm not going to do it there. And no offense, being a Singaporean, I was very skeptical. I mean, we are very fortunate that we are very spoiled with very good medical facilities in Singapore. So I was very skeptical and afraid to be operated in any other country. All right, per se. So I made the call and I told him that nope, I'm not going to continue. And we had a moment of depression. And left the hospital, back to the accoms, and we talked it out.
For PayFar, why didn't you continue on the journey?
Oh, this is an interesting story.
This is gonna be long. This is gonna be really long.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll cut it short.
Okay.
I did consider to go alone myself. I made contacts with people who is actually on the trip and thought that I can meet them up in Europe. There's one actually was actually in where is Andre back then?
Czech. I think he's in Czech or Romania.
Yeah.
Romania.
And
He was in Romania.
Yeah, and he told me that I can meet him up because, like I say, we've been through half of the journey. Honestly, really half of the journey. Dennis is very, very depressed that he actually have to U-turn, go home. and really give up. I myself was perfectly fine, and it really, I really want to continue because I don't know when, or next time actually I am able to do this again because, all the best wife and best wife also a human, they have their,
their limits.
Concerns.
Yeah,
Limits. That's the right word.
Yeah, limits and concerns. All right, cool. I should let my wife know about this video. So. But of course, she's still very supportive. But ultimately, I almost want to continue myself alone. And I still got my visa extended and get it done. Finally, we got our Iran visa.
He got his Iran visa finally.
Yeah, you also got it, but you didn't actually realize it. But anyway, I got my Iran visa. I was supposed to leave on that bloody day. I forgot which day is it. But I was supposed to leave at 6 a.m. But I woke up at 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep well. And I know that I'm going to travel alone, it kept me thinking for the whole bloody 2 hours. I was like waking up, thinking about, but in my mind I was thinking that I'm afraid I will not feel any fun if I just travel alone. Or sorry, if I even met someone along the way, it will be very, very different experience because, I knew Daniel when he was 16. I knew him for 10 over years. Well, we've been in this sport for many years in riding off-road, doing our trail, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, back then I was like thinking, maybe I won't feel good or happy, if I just do it alone. Call my wife asked me, tell me again the same answer, said that it's up to me, but she's still very concerned. Mentioned some of my best friends, so our best friends said that, you come back lah. And of course, lastly, the ultimatum, actually I mentioned my boss, and my boss say, welcome back.
Few words only,
Honestly, I tell him all those stuff, then he because he knew that my friend got accident, he thought I'm coming back. But I told him I want to go alone. He said that then you'll be safe. But I said that maybe I'm not coming back alone. I'm not going alone anymore. He said, please welcome back. So actually so that was one of the ultimatum. Then and after that, I said that, and Daniel wake up, and I said that I'm not leaving. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. And he told me, yeah. And because like I say, we have one of the concessions when we actually did out this trip. Daniel always tell me, said, whatever decision you make, we always respect you. That kind of stuff. So yeah.
Must have been a difficult decision for you.
Yes and no. But yes, it's still a very difficult decision. But like I say, the moment I woke up and think about all those things, the time we have, prior to, his accident, it was really one hell of a event. And and for me, myself, my personality, my character, I always love to, have someone to share all this experience, and not doing it alone. Of course, maybe next time I might want to do it alone, but no. I mean, this time around, I just want to, do it with him, complete with him, and that's how I ended up. I realized that, maybe I just, shouldn't go and just follow him back and do this trip again, in the future.
So probably if you wanna, let's say we can start travel freely without any restrictions, what's your next plan? Do you want to start from where you left off, or you want to from St. Abbs come back to Singapore?
Oh my God, that was one of the questions we've been actually pondering recently. Actually quite recently, because back then when there's COVID, right, I was like trying to talk to him about this, and he said that I cannot see any light at the end of the tunnel. He said that let's wait for this over, then we talk about it. And actually I kept quiet like for more than a year. Then suddenly he bring up that day. He said that everyone is fascinated, borders are start to open up, maybe we should think about it. And we did have a slight plan, just a very vague kind of a timeline. We're talking about 2023. And of course, it's straight back to the question and how we're gonna do it. Because at first I was trying to persuade him to actually let's go another route, which we intended to in the first place, but we did not. It was actually to go through China via Laos this time round, and from China we go to Central Asia and probably go down to Iran and to Turkey and to Europe to do this route. But of course he did say that probably we also actually, if you have the luxury of time, why not? But if we do not have it, right, he said that maybe we should ship the bike back to Karachi and start it all over again from Pakistan.
Pick up from where we left off.
Yes, but the shipping fee, honestly, we're not too sure how much it will be. We didn't actually go to research, but we didn't talk about it. Hey, you want to add on anything?
No, nothing. Yeah.
So
So it's either we ship to Karachi or we start here
Take
again.
another route.
Yeah. But we will never try to go back to India again. I mean, India, like I say, is really fun, but the start of the India leg, right, it was really tough. Infa, Dimapur, and what's that route? I know these two countries really kill us, man. Really, honestly.
Region.
Yeah, this region is the Assam state, we call it. The road is.
It's not road.
Honestly, it's not even.
It's not. You can't even consider it as a road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
More
really
like a train.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's really bad.
okay, since you guys have to go home, right? What is the logistics of bringing back the bikes to Singapore?
From Pakistan.
From Pakistan, yeah. Well, you guys took the flight home, and then after that, the shipping company just.
Yeah. I was lucky because I have a friend who actually in the shipping line. I contacted him, asked for advice. He told me, "Yep, I can try to get you a forwarder in Pakistan and book a container, voila, and that's it." We got a quote. I mean, just from him and from another one, and also your contacts, right? And I think my friend was okay because he's very responsive. He gave us the code, and I just said, "Okay, let's do it with him." So he actually got a forwarder, come over to Lahore to talk to us. We teach him about the Canon thing, and he actually get the mechanic, to do all the necessary preparation. Like, you need to drain out the motor oil, you need to actually, petrol, and you need to actually create it, and after that, and push it to, and actually transport it to a Karachi port, and they actually get it on the container. So we are lucky we have one of the forwarder that actually help us do all those things. And it was very, very simple, but it comes with a cost. Like I say, we did mention that actually the cost is around 4,400 when you bring the two bike back, and it's not included to the budget that we mentioned earlier on, which is the 9,500 that was actually excluded, but the shipping was actually 4,400. But like I say, we did our research, before we travel. Our intention was to ship it from UK. And actually, what we understand that UK could only cost us around 1,000 or 1,000 plus. The
to
most
bring it back.
to bring it back. Yeah, it's
No.
each bike.
2K
From Pakistan it was 2K odd each.
Yes.
From UK it will be 1K odd each.
Yes. So very interesting, but we don't know how it works. But like I say, I don't know in the future will the shipping increase or what's happening.
That's so interesting. Maybe we can just try and do that.
Yes.
Last two questions. What's the most memorable place that you guys have visited in the trip?
Honestly, it is still Spiti Valley. That whole lake was not just beautiful. I met a lot of problems, overcome it, and crazy. I mean, it was still one of the best place to go. Yeah. That's it.
Spiti Valley.
Spiti, yeah. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. For me, day one was the most memorable for me. Leaving the country for the trip was the most memorable for me. Every place in the world has got its beauty, has got their character. Some people like the blue sky, some people like the green mountains. We've seen it along the way very much. But for myself, the most memorable was to make the first step, to leave the country, embark on the journey, and everything will fall in place.
Yeah.
That was memorable for me. I was very ecstatic. I was very excited.
He was very excited. And
Day one. Because it's always the toughest to make the first step. It's always the first step. Once you make the first step, you got no choice but to carry on.
So, what do you guys take away from this trip?
So much thing. Really, honestly, so much thing. But of course, maybe Daniel, you just start because I was thinking.
For me, my biggest takeaway after doing this road trip, seeing a lot of people in different country, in different condition, in different environment. After I came back to Singapore, the only one thing that I want for myself would be to be happy. It's a very vague, very vague definition. To be happy, you can be happy at anything. What I want for my life going forward is I want to be happy in a lot of things I do. I do not want to be mandated. I do not want to be classified as, you know, you're not following the general rule of thumb, you know, like by certain age you have to do this, by certain time you have to do this, no. So end of the day, do whatever that makes you happy. That's my biggest takeaway. Because I've seen how kids, a bunch of them in Pakistan, Kazakh, they are so fascinated and happy with a football. I've not seen that in Singapore for a long time. Yeah. It's pure, it's innocent, which is very hard to come by, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tifa?
For me, it's actually the other thing is it's more like the experience itself. Yeah, it's the experience itself, and of course, my take is that if you don't gonna do it right, and you keep talking about it, and you don't know when you want to do it, you will feel like but once you do it right, you realize that yes, I did it. Yeah. Honestly, because like I say, I will never do it alone. And it was actually Daniel that, you know, instigate me. It was like, yeah, maybe we should do it. And of course, there's
I think the word is inspired. I wouldn't use the word
Instigate much more like
inspired.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, like I say, not really a lone ranger myself. So yeah, the key takeaway was that when there's a chance, there's opportunity, grab it, do it, and think about it later, talk about it later. Yeah, and that's the best takeaway. I think in life is also in whatever decision or, you know, objective that you want to achieve or dream, you know, just go for it first and think about it later.
Thanks, Daniel, Peifa.
Thank you
so
guys
much for sharing your experiences during the trip. Really appreciate you guys for sharing, and it's been very inspiring. Yeah. And any final words for the camera?
Follow Two Men Two Bike and follow. Hopefully that can I do that? Can I do that?
Can.
Okay, follow Two Men Two Bike. More to come. We'll probably be
On the road
again next year or the year after in 2023. We'll see how it goes and keep in touch.
Yeah, and lastly, hope the world will get better and the border is open. Everyone will be back to norm and make travel easy again. Cool?
Yep. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay, and yeah, any riders want to review the bike with us, to get in touch with us on our social media pages below.
Okay, I hope. Repeat balik.
Any riders want to review the bike with us, you can get in touch with us on our social media pages below.
Okay, so we hope you guys enjoyed that interview we had so far with Two Men Two Bike. Do like and share this video with your riding kakis, and don't forget to subscribe. Whatever comments, feedback, suggestion, put them in the comment section below, right?
And once again, thanks to 18 Moto for sponsoring the venue. They've been a very awesome sponsor, and you can come here and service, buy or refinance your bike lah. And that's it for the vlog. We will see you in the next one.
Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon.